Everything alive changes. No change, no life. The American Glaucoma Society is changing. What do we want to treasure and to preserve? The founders of the American Glaucoma Society were not in agreement regarding central aspects of the society, such as its mission. Open and often passionate discussions eventually led to a real consensus. Organizations drift away from their original purpose. Usually they drift towards exclusivity and self-preservation. My belief is that the founders had it right. The mission of the AGS is to maintain and improve quality of patient care, primarily through improvement, exchange, and dissemination of information and scientific knowledge related to glaucoma and related diseases. My hope is that the AGS shall remain true to that mission. My wish is that the AGS will continue to welcome diversity and creativity, insisting on honesty and excellent substance. And my expectation is that the AGS will have a long life and shall continue to make the world a healthier place in which every person is valued.
Dear fellow members of the American Glaucoma Society, guests and friends, it is indeed a great honor for me to be included as one of the founding members of this society, which has grown to be one of the most predominant glaucoma organizations in clinical and research accomplishments. As I recall, the formation of this society came at a most opportune time. A transition from legendary glaucoma leaders to a younger group was occurring. Also, the Eddy report came out in the mid-'80s claiming that treatment of glaucoma was not evidence-based at that time. In other words, lowering the intraocular pressure did not save vision. This society had formed and helped to meet this challenge, and through its studies refuted this conclusion. I am proud to be an early member and see again where another transition of glaucoma leaders has brought this society. Evidence of this advancement is seen in this meeting, and I have full confidence in the future. Enjoy the meeting, and again, thank you.
A little over 25 years ago, my wife reminds me that there were 4 or 5 of us sitting in a bar, George Spaeth, Dick Simmons, Jack Hetherington, myself, and maybe 1 or 2 others. And George, I think, raised the idea of we needed an American Glaucoma Society. And that was the beginning of what today is a really vibrant, progressive, very effective organization. And the organization brings a lot of things, I think, to the American public. It brings wisdom and management techniques for glaucoma, but it brings all those people who really care about this disease together to discuss the new ideas, to look at new ways to manage patients, to find ways to have more fun together, to be collegial, which is so important in today's highly competitive world. I think the American Glaucoma Society has evolved into a true leading society around the world in the area of glaucoma. And that's thanks to the leaders of the past, but also the energy and involvement of the doctors today. I congratulate all of you for being here. I think it's a magnificent organization with an extraordinarily bright future. Thank you very much.
I sincerely thank you for this year's President's Award. I am deeply honored and quite humbled. The AGS has expanded tremendously since its inception 25 years ago and is a major force in ophthalmology and the rest of medicine. One of my favorite quotes is from Joe Lieberman, who said, "We are, whether we like it or not, role models. We have voluntarily entered into a contract that is based on trust. If we violate that trust, our profession suffers. The first question we must ask ourselves when making a decision about our personal behavior or actions is not just is it legal, but is it right?" Thank you again for this honor.
I'm really honored to receive the American Glaucoma Society President's Award. Back in 1984, we recognized the need for an organization that would represent glaucoma specialists, especially before the American Academy of Ophthalmology, the AUPO, and the American Board of Ophthalmology. There were questions that had to be answered, and we had no unified voice to speak for us. These were questions regarding fellowship training, coding, reimbursement, and we needed a forum also for presenting our research studies. We developed a set of bylaws and a constitution. I was appointed the chairman of the first nominating committee, and we then developed a slate of officers. I had a camera at that meeting. I set the self-timer, and we have a picture of ourselves at that meeting, and that's probably the only evidence we have that we really did meet. And you can see that picture in the history of the American Glaucoma Society. That's edited by Shields and Spaeth. Our first meeting was in Iowa City, where we paid tribute to Dr. Charles Phelps, who had died about a year before. Dr. Drance was our first guest speaker. This is a wonderful society. It provides support for new researchers and their research. It serves a major role in teaching. It provides a venue to present our research. But there's one more asset, and that's its membership, its members. You'll never find a better group of surgeons, a nicer, more thoughtful group of people, or a more fun-loving group of individuals. Marlene and I have formed lifelong friendships within the organization. Is there any wonder why I'm so honored and flattered to receive the American Glaucoma Society President's Award?
Wow, 25 years of the American Glaucoma Society. I know for me it's a real honor to be here. I remember I was still in high school when they first asked me to be the inaugural secretary of the AGS, and I thought it was an honor then too. My daughter asked, Dad, they're giving you one of these Lifetime Achievement Awards. Does that mean you're supposed to retire? And I said, well, no such luck. I'm going to haunt them for quite some time to come. My son said, what do you think the people should say about you? What do you want them to say about you 25 years from now? And I said, well, I'd like him to say he still looks good for his age. Now, don't tell the other survivors, but there's going to be an immunity challenge, and one of them's going to get voted off right after the banquet.
I want to express my thanks to President Ted Crouppen and Program Chair Ann Coleman for their gracious invitation to participate in this auspicious celebration of the 25th anniversary of the founding of the American Glaucoma Society in 1985. It is a special honor for me to be associated with the other 12 founding members, and especially with the other 3 members of the original Gang of 4, George Spaeth, our first president, Dick Simmons, and Bruce Shields. Those 3 deserve all the credit for doing the actual groundwork that was required to initiate the conversion of an idea into a viable organization. As stated in the 2009 revised bylaws, the objectives of the AGS are concerned with progress in the field of glaucoma. In addition to looking ahead to the future, it is also important to establish a solid foundation of the past record of achievements in our field. It seems to me that AGS is exactly the right organization to accomplish that purpose. I would therefore suggest creation of a historical committee to continuously review publications and, where appropriate, conduct interviews to create an accurate listing of the major advances in diagnosis and management of glaucoma, together with an honor roll of the investigators who deserve credit for these achievements. It is most certainly a great pleasure to be here. Thank you all very much.